Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Star Trek admits Mr. Spock's favorite structure in the galaxy is not logical at all. In a career that spans centuries and the galaxy, Spock saw breathtaking sights and traveled to exotic planets. In 2015's Star Trek #55, the Vulcan finally admits the one surprising location in the galaxy that ranks as his favorite. Star Trek #55 was written by Mike Johnson and drawn by Tony Chastain. Spock is taking one last trip to Earth, specifically San Francisco. He walks the Golden Gate Bridge, remarking it may well be his favorite structure in the galaxy. He praises its Vulcan-like design and colors and reminiscences of late-night walks on the bridge during his Academy days. First played by Leonard Nimoy, Spock, the Enterprise's half-human, half-Vulcan science officer, is one of the Star Trek franchise's most popular characters. Born to a Vulcan diplomat and a human mother, Spock grew up straddling a line between two different cultures, and this struggle informed his decision to attend Starfleet Academy. As seen in the second season original series episode, Journey to Babel, this decision drove a massive wedge between Spock and his father, one that only healed later in the latter's life. Interestingly enough, Spock would follow in his father's footsteps, becoming a renowned diplomat. His last act was to try and save the Romulans from a catastrophic supernova. In issues 55 to 58 of IDW's Kelvin set Star Trek title, the storyline, The Legacy of Spock, saw him travel around Earth one last time, before rejoining the survivors of Vulcan's destruction, who were seeking a new homeworld. The storyline, as the name implies, is a reflection on Spock's legacy, one that began with late-night walks on the Golden Gate Bridge. Spock's opinion of the Golden Gate Bridge is surprising. While it is an impressive structure, Spock has no doubt seen wonders across the galaxy that would easily rival the bridge. Be it one of the massive flagships of the First Federation or a Tholian web, Spock has seen sights to behold. Opening to the public in 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge has become a symbol of San Francisco and California as a whole, as well as Starfleet. The bridge factors prominently into various pieces of Starfleet iconography, including the Academy's emblem. By the 24th century, the bridge now consisted largely of solar panels. The reasoning for Spock's view of the bridge is rooted in his own history. Like all Starfleet officers, Spock attended the Academy, which is based in San Francisco. Spock's half-Vulcan, half-human heritage made him an outcast, but he found himself and his place in the galaxy while attending the Academy. The Golden Gate Bridge appeals to Spock's human side as well. Before achieving the post-scarcity utopia that is the Federation, humanity experienced a devastating world war. Numerous cities were destroyed and billions died, yet the Golden Gate Bridge still stood. The bridge became a symbol for humanity's resilience and a reminder of the progress they later made. When these factors are taken into account, it is easy to see why Mr. Spock favors the Golden Gate Bridge. The bridge attracts many visitors every year, and people still find it appealing centuries later. Now, as Star Trek has revealed, even extraterrestrials like Spock find it impressive, even if it does not seem logical at first. For decades, fans have debated what truly moves Spock's half-Vulcan heart. Logic, discipline, science, duty. These pillars have defined him across every era of Star Trek. Yet, every now and then, cracks appear in that controlled exterior, revealing that beneath the calm veneer lives a being far more complex than he ever intends to admit. Now, a stunning new revelation shakes that image yet again. Spock's favorite thing on Earth is not logical, not efficient, and not remotely Vulcan. In fact, it's something he's spent most of his life trying to avoid. It all begins during a Federation cultural exchange that brings diplomats, scientists, and observers of every world to Earth for a month-long celebration of artistic traditions. Spock accompanies the Enterprise delegation under the simple premise of cultural liaison. Privately, however, Captain Kirk suspects there's more to the matter. Spock has been distracted lately, restless, and Jim Kirk is the kind of friend who notices when a Vulcan starts acting almost human. Teach mysterious human pastime. The trouble begins, or perhaps the revelation begins, at a small corner of San Francisco's Embarcadero. Here, a modest shop sits sandwiched between a robotics museum and a tea house, its windows lit by a warm amber glow. Spock stops cold on the sidewalk as though struck by a phaser set to emotional paralysis. Kirk blinks. Something wrong? No, Spock replies too fast, hands clasping behind his back. There is merely an establishment I recognize. We've been here dozens of times, Kirk says. Did you forget something? A tricorder? PEDD? A rare Vulcan spice? Negative. But his eyes remain fixed on the door, and Kirk notices something even more alarming. Hesitation. Inside the shop, shelves overflow with hand-bound journals, antique presses, calligraphy sets, and vintage mechanical pens. An artisan writing boutique. And suddenly, the truth unfurls. Spock is obsessed with writing instruments. Not Klingon war manuals, not Vulcan meditation scrolls, not sleek modern styluses. No, the most logical man in the galaxy harbors a deeply illogical passion for Earth fountain pens. Teach a secret collection. Once inside, Spock moves like someone entering a sacred temple. His fingers drift over lacquered barrels, engraved nibs, and handcrafted inks mixed in colors so vivid they could never exist on Vulcan. He examines a pen balanced on a marble display like it's a relic from an ancient civilization. The clerk recognizes him instantly. Back again? I've just received a new shipment from Kyoto. Handmade. I think you'll find the balance exceptional. Kirk's eyebrows leap upward. Back again? I do not believe I will require additional writing tools, Spock says. He says this while holding the pen as gently as one would cradle a newborn sullet. Kirk bites back a grin. Spock, is this your hobby? Hobby, Spock repeats, as if the word itself is an affront. It is an intellectual interest, a harmless study of human craftsmanship. Aha, Kirk mutters. And how many of these harmless studies are in your quarters right now? Spock's silence is answer enough. In truth, his collection has grown vast. Far vaster than even Dr. M.C. Coy realizes, and Bones is convinced he understands every flaw in Spock's psyche. Hidden compartments, meticulously organized drawers, humidity-controlled cases. Spock has spent years acquiring and preserving fountain pens from every era of human history. They represent something he cannot confide to anyone. Humanity's relationship with imperfection. WHYIT's illogical, and irresistible. To a Vulcan, fountain pens are everything impractical. They leak. They clog. They demand care and maintenance. They cannot replicate the sterile precision of digital writing. They are, by every measurable standard, inefficient. Yet Spock is drawn to them precisely because of those flaws. Each time he writes with one, each meticulous stroke, each subtle line variation, each unpredictable ink flow, reminds him of something paradoxical but vital. Perfection is not the sole path to meaning. He knows this intellectually, of course, but feeling it is another matter. And writing with a fountain pen allows him to experience something emotional without appearing emotional. It is, perhaps, the most Vulcan way to be human. The admission. The revelation becomes official during a panel at the Federation Cultural Expo titled Artifacts of Humanity. Useless objects we still love. When Spock is invited to comment on human idiosyncrasies, he delivers a clinical, precise explanation until a member of the audience asks, "What is your favorite Terran object?" Spock intends to provide a diplomatic, bland response, something like the works of Shakespeare or botanical diversity. But Kirk is watching from the corner of the stage with a mischievous twinkle that says, "Come on, Spock, just once. Be honest." Spock folds his hands, inhales, and makes the most illogical decision of his week. "For reasons I cannot fully justify," he says, "I find myself particularly appreciative of Earth's traditional fountain pens." There is a stunned silence. Even the Vulcan delegates stare at him as if he has admitted to juggling tribbles for recreation. Spock continues, voice unwavering. "They are inefficient and at times frustrating. Their operation demands patience, adaptability, and a willingness to accept unpredictable outcomes. In this way, they are instructive." A ripple of warm laughter moves through the audience, not mocking, but delighted. For many years, Spock says, I believed my attraction to them was a flaw, illogical, extraneous. Yet I have come to understand that logic does not preclude appreciation, nor does discipline exclude beauty. Then, almost imperceptibly, the corner of his mouth lifts. The variance of ink flow, he adds softly, is pleasing. Kirk nearly falls out of his chair. Emotional aftershock. Following the panel, MC coy corners Spock. A fountain pen, Spock? Really? What's next? You start whittling, collecting teacups, building model ships? Spock lifts an eyebrow. Doctor, I am permitted at least one harmless interest. Harmless? MC coy snorts. Highly illogical, maybe. Precisely. For Spock, the moment is transformative. In admitting his fondness publicly, he accepts that logic is a guide, not a cage. His human half, so often the source of discomfort, now reveals itself as a source of depth, nuance, even joy. And soon, word spreads across the Enterprise. Crew members spot Spock writing personal notes in elegant Earth ink. He records observations in journals rather than PADDs. He even gifts Kirk a pen, though he insists it is merely practical. Kirk, of course, knows better. It is Spock's way of sharing something that matters to him without ever saying so. Beauty of logic. Spock's confession becomes a minor phenomenon within the Federation. Fans, scholars, and cultural historians flock to the idea that even the most logical being in the galaxy can love something irrational. It humanizes him. It elevates him. It reminds everyone that the boundary between logic and emotion is not as rigid as Vulcans pretend. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.